Good day to all of you. Just a small presentation on how to protect your kids from COVID. What we need to understand is COVID is here to stay with us, and most probably it's not going anywhere. Next year it may be declared from pandemic to endemic, but we should learn to live with it like how we have lived in the past with many more diseases like malaria, dengue, etc. So nothing to really worry, just few small steps and changes in the lifestyle and everything should be fine. So the first step in the protection will be prevention of the disease. I personally feel the actual COVID problem constitutes only 10% of the prevention, and 90% what has to be prevented is the fear and anxiety that's present in most of the public. Most importantly, stop COVID news in the presence of kids. Don't expose them to all these negative thoughts, and try not to talk anything about COVID in the presence of children. The news and the media makes things very sensational for their TRP ratings, and even one small incident is blown up like the whole world is suffering with only that, but that's not true. I'm not frightening anybody, but there have been diseases in the past like dengue, malaria, which have had their own share of complications. 1 in 1,000 kids with dengue may develop dengue myocarditis or dengue complicating into the brain, and even malaria can complicate into kids. Dengue can present as dengue shock syndrome, but nobody has ever spoken about all this. We have salvaged kids in the past, treatment is there, and they have all improved. Similarly, even in COVID, less than 5 in 1,000 kids develop complications, which can be avoided by proper monitoring. And even if they develop the complication, as of now, there is treatment, and we have seen kids recovering even with COVID complications. So, most important is get rid of the fear and anxiety, maintain a positive atmosphere at home, try to play games together, do a combined yoga, do exercise with the kids. So, we should concentrate more on the positive things that benefit our health. So, that's the main thing to be prevented. Next, how do you actually prevent COVID? Or at least try to prevent COVID. See, what is the role of the child? Get them at least 20 minutes per day exposure to sunlight, maybe between 8:30 to 10 in the morning. 15 to 20 minutes per day is fine. It gives you free vitamin D. Avoid crowded places, especially when we are having a wave of the COVID or when it's peaking. Good nutrition and exercise, as I already mentioned. See, good nutrition includes healthy vegetables and fruits. Avoid junk food. Maybe once in 15 days they can have junk food, but rest of the time it should be healthy food. And try to include vitamin C and zinc in the diet. Zinc rich food, as you can see here: red meat, eggs, badam, strawberries, green peas. They're all supposed to be a rich source. And vitamin C rich food, all of you will be aware: oranges, kiwi fruit, tomatoes, capsicum, cabbage, bananas. So daily we should at least include 2 portions of zinc and vitamin C rich food in the diet of the kids for at least 5 days in a week. Next, we move on to the care that has to be taken once the child develops any symptoms or suspected symptoms of COVID. First thing, keep in mind, no need to panic. The disease has a treatment and most of the kids are doing well. So commonly the symptoms that we have seen in our OPD is kids come with fever and cough, sore throat, nasal congestion, vomiting, diarrhea, fatigue, loss of smell. These are also reported. Commonest presentation is fever and cough, and we have to usually rule out a primary contact in the family. Most probably the parents or the grandparents or a neighbor will be diagnosed with COVID, or even it can present independently. So once these symptoms develop, as parents, What is the monitoring that is expected to be done at home? First and foremost, consult a pediatrician because you need to understand it's still a new disease. So no need to do any experimentation at home. Don't give self-medications of fever and cough. Please consult the pediatrician and strictly follow the doctor's advice. Usually we tell that you have to monitor the temperature 4th hourly. Most important to be done at home is point number 3 and 4. Maintain a good oral intake of at least 80% of what the child takes normally and adequate amount of water. Now, how do you monitor the water intake? Maintain a good urine output for the child. At least 4 to 6 times the child should pass urine in a duration of 24 hours and the urine has to be clear or pale yellow. This is very important. Any child with suspected symptoms, most important hallmark of the treatment is good hydration at home. Maintain a good urine output of 4 to 6 times in a duration of 24 hours. Urine should be clear or pale yellow. Urine that progressively is becoming dark yellow or concentrated is not a good sign and needs immediate consultation with the doctor. Saturation should be maintained between 95 to 100%. That's the normal. And in between the fever spikes, the child becomes normal and active. This is also important. Fever may be present in the morning, afternoon and evening. But in between the fever, once the fever is reduced by medication, the child should become normal and resume his activities. Strictly follow the doctor's advice and whatever prescription or lab test the doctor has advised, it has to be followed. That will be the monitoring that is expected. Now coming to the important thing which all parents need to know. No need to panic. Just keep in mind if these danger signs develop, you need to contact your doctor immediately. And initially itself, you keep the emergency numbers ready because what you need to know especially in our city, Bangalore, as of now, there are around only 6 to 9 hospitals that are catering to pediatric COVID care. I mean the admissions. So it's always better to keep the emergency numbers. It may help somebody else in need. There are only 6 to 10 hospitals in Bangalore as of now that are catering to pediatric COVID care. Now, what are the danger signs that you look out for? See, first thing at home when you're monitoring the fever every 4th hourly, persisting high fever of more than 101 is always a problem. If it persists to be high and does not break with medication, it is a problem. Next, any fever persisting more than 4 completed days of illness or more than 96 hours. If the child has a reduced oral intake, he continuously misses 2 meals, that is, he misses his breakfast and his lunch, or a younger child does not breastfeed, let us say from morning to afternoon, then it's a danger sign. Reduced urine output, no urination or decreased urination for a duration of 8 to 12 hours, child becomes drowsy, hurried breathing develops, or the saturation is persistently less than 95%. But among all these danger signs, most important to be monitored at home will be a reduced oral intake and a reduced urine output. These are the beginning of the danger signs. Once they develop, kindly contact your doctor immediately and whatever has to be done can be done at the initial phase itself. Finally, to end this on a positive note, we need to remember that our children are primarily protected by us, the parents. So as you can see here, we need to protect them from COVID and we also need to protect them and ourselves from COVID related news and panic. Stay calm. Our responsibilities are maintain a healthy lifestyle, yoga, exercise, create a positive environment at home, provide kids with good nutrition, healthy nutritious food, vegetables, fruits. Be vigilant, isolate yourself at the first symptoms that you develop and consult the doctor and strictly follow the doctor's advice so that we are able to comfortably protect our children from the ongoing pandemic. Good health to all of you and all our children. Thank you.